Hey guys, it's Megan, otherwise known as Nancy Duggan if you were at Beach Mission last year, and I've just been asked to do a talk about partying and the whole clubbing scene, and what we as Christians, I guess, believe in. I mean, there isn't no right or wrong answer, but I do want to give some advice to you guys if you are Christian but you're still wanting to go out and have a little bit of a dance. And I guess that sort of scene it's not the same as church. And the people there are not usually followers of Christ as well, and so there can be a need to have really strong boundaries in place, and that's just what I want to touch on, is I guess the whole clubbing scene where, you know, you've got loud music, so you're having to stand really closely with people quite intimately. It can definitely be a perfect environment for one-night stands, especially people that are dressing quite provocatively. It can open the door up to all sorts of things, and that's why it is really important to have boundaries in place, because I mean, you don't really go into a club with a sign on your head that says, hey guys, I'm actually a Christian, I'm not going to have a one night stand, and because of that, girls, you might have guys come up to you, and guys, you might have girls even crack onto you, and I think, it is just an important thing to think about, is just what's your boundaries, and I guess what does the Bible say, and also just hanging out with non-Christians that might not be there to hold you accountable. I think it is really important to think about that, and I guess I'd want to touch on what Paul writes in Philippians 3 verse 17, is just how non-Christians can flex their sin sometimes and sort of make you feel bad and single you out sometimes. I mean, if you've ever played a game of Never Have I Ever, you know what I'm talking about. As a Christian, you stick out like a sore thumb, and I think that's why it's quite important to know that as a Christian you will get suffering in some way, shape or form, and if you choose the clubbing and partying life, you will stick out, and it's a lot easier to conform to what everyone else is doing opposed to following Christ. That's why it's usually strongly not recommended, and that's why I definitely encourage all you brothers and sisters in Christ to go out and hang out with people that are Christian as well, and maybe have those boundaries in place and be like, you know what, I'm not gonna hook up with anyone, I'm not gonna drink too much, here's my boundaries, and I'm not going beyond that. And if people call you boring, if they call you losers, I mean, that's them, but at the end of the day, it's about you and your relationship with God, the creator of the heaven and the universe. So, I mean, what's more important? Whose opinion's more important to you? And the whole suffering thing, it happens as a Christian, and especially in a world where not everyone around you is a Christian and not everyone lives the same life as you. I know when I was about 14 or 15, I had my first boyfriend, and he wasn't a Christian, and I obviously was, so I was wanting to save myself from marriage, and he obviously wasn't, and he ended up actually cheating on me because I wasn't going to sleep with him, and I suffered a lot, and I was completely upset. Obviously 6 years later, I don't really care, but at the time I was so gutted, and it sucked, but it was worth it. And at the end of the day, God's always going to have you no matter what. You are his son and daughters, God's got you. So really so into that, and definitely read Philippians 3:17, such a banger. And that's all I've got for you guys, so I'll see you later.